Who's ready for the motherfucking Q&A? Okay, hold on. Clearly I'm not. Favorite guilty pleasures. Mrs. Bridgerton. So if you're 12, bye. Raw, next question. I would pretend I wasn't me. I do not know what the fuck I sent him. I'm so drunk right now. It's Taylor Swift's birthday today. It's time. Take it seriously. My head kept hitting the headboard. I actually prepared for this. I brought a lot to prepare so I could actually get pretty tipsy. First, which I'm now realizing is not a screw top, so I'm gonna need to go open this. One of my favorite red wines. I have 2 cranberry neutrals left. I even brought a little snack because if I drink a lot and my mouth starts to only taste like alcohol, I will throw up. And then to start us off, which I've already spilled twice, a very full shot glass. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. It's in my Call Her Daddy shot glass, like OG Call Her Daddy. Ugh, I still sound like a man. Apologies. This is the green apple vodka from Halloween, from the Halloween readathon. But I put some triple sec in it, just to be cute. But I thought we'd start off with a shot, and then I'm gonna drink the neutrals, and then we'll save the wine for the nitty gritty. I've decided I'm gonna have 4 categories. Let me pull it up. I have all the questions written down. The categories are gonna be, they're gonna start off normal, cute, fine, quirky, and then we're gonna get into our no parents allowed. So the first is gonna be our bookish questions. Anything bookish related, unless they're really inappropriate, but anything bookish related is gonna be our part 1. Part 2 is our G-rated questions. Okay, I would be okay with the kids I nanny listening to these. Next is our PG-13. This one's a little more confusing because like some of them are kind of G-rated, but I might get a little passionate and a little angry about them when I'm answering, just especially how drunk I get. We'll see. And then we have our R-rated questions. So we're gonna end with the fun ones, all right? And I am borderline too open of a book, so there's a chance I will regret having these on the internet, but I don't. That's my mistake to make, okay? And I don't care, actually, at all. So I think I've passed the point of caring about what's on the internet. So we're gonna start off with a shot. We're gonna drink some neutrals. In between questions, we'll chug a lug. In between categories, I may either do a shot or who knows. We're just gonna see where the night takes us. It is noon. It's noon. So we're gonna see where the mid-afternoon takes us. All right, first one, cheers. This is really vague. I left some. That actually tasted really bad. But it's okay. We're going to go into our neutrals. Oh, welcome in, by the way. If you're new here, you picked an interesting one to start on because it's going to get a little scary later. If you're not new here, thank you for submitting questions. These are all from you, so I really appreciate it. Cranberry neutral. Neutrals are my new high noons. I like them better now. I love them. All right, let's get started on the bookish related questions. We've got a lot, so buckle in. If you want to drink along with me, let's do it, okay? All right, number 1. What fictional man would you trade Logan for? Jon Snow, Draco Malfoy, Rhysand, Zayd Meadows, Kai Rhodes. Like, need I go on? I don't know what y'all think I am to Logan, but Logan can leave. Logan can leave. For Jon Snow, Logan's gone. Sorry. For Rhysand, bye. Are you kidding me? Zayd Meadows, bye. I've got another sister, okay? Logan's gone. Sorry. She would do the same to me, so I don't give a fuck. If I could make a movie about my life, who would play me and who would play Logan? Also, the amount of questions that have Logan in them, I get it. If y'all are trying to tell me something, I fucking get it. Y'all like Logan more than me. Also, all of my videos with Logan doing the best, if you're trying to make me quit, it's working, okay? I get it. Y'all like her more than me. You don't have to rub it in. Anyways, I feel like someone playing Logan, actually someone compared Logan to her very recently, and I feel like she would work. So I feel like Emma Stone would play Logan well because Logan's like randomly outgoing for some reason, and Emma Stone's very funny too, so like I feel like she would get Logan quickly. And I need someone who's like a little inappropriate but also funny and super hot, and I feel like that would be like Jennifer Lawrence. Lawrence. I love her, and I feel like she would play me. If you could take a trait, power, or ability from a book character and a movie character, okay, both, who would it be? And what? Okay, that's hard. I didn't think about this one. I didn't think about most of these beforehand. Okay, trait, power, or ability. That's a lot of different things. So I would probably say, like, if I could take the ability to become an avatar, and if I could take the ability to become Neytiri so that I could be married to Jake Sully, I would take it. Book character. I feel like I honestly don't know that many people who have, like, abilities. This feels like something I should have looked up beforehand. I mean, Nesta's ability is pretty dope. I'm not going to say it because that would be a spoiler, but Nesta, and, like, if I could have the ability to have Cassian, yes, obviously. I don't really want any powers. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't handle them well. Best written book I've ever read. Not favorite, but genuinely the best and most well written. So the thing is, I'm not an author, so I don't know, like, technically well written things. I'm not, like, confident on saying that. But I will say books that, or, like, authors that had really beautiful writing. I think The 7-Year Slip had really beautiful writing. I think Magnolia Parks had really beautiful quotes. I won't say that that was, like, the best book ever, but I think Taylor Jenkins Reid writes really beautiful stuff. So I would say between, like, Jessa Hastings and Taylor Jenkins Reid has really beautiful stuff. Like, Daisy Jones and the Six had really beautiful quotes. I forgot to keep drinking. Also, these are all going to be anonymous because I know myself and I don't want to take the time to put people's questions up. I also don't know if you want to be anonymous or not. So just know I see you. I appreciate you. I saw everyone who put these in and I love you. Moving on. Most underrated book I've read. That's hard. I hate to say it, but I'm someone who follows the crowd and I will read books when they get popular. So let me look. I'm gonna have to look at this. Actually, I have an idea. I'm gonna go to Goodreads and look at, like, the lowest rated, and that will, like, give me an idea of books that people just, like, don't like for some reason. Underrated. I've got it. There's my mom. Life and Death, Twilight Reimagined. I said it and I'm not taking it back. Though Twilight Reimagined, I loved it, okay? It's literally Twilight. It's the story of Twilight, but told in the opposite genders. So, like, Edward's a girl and Bella's character is a boy. I ate it up. I really did. It was something to do with, like, a powerful girl and, like, a shyer, less confident man. I don't know. I just kind of ate it up. What the fuck? Dude, if my light is dying, I would not be happy. We're back in business. That was difficult. 1 through 5 books you feel got overhyped, and 1 through 5 books you feel got underhyped. That's a lot of books. You're asking a lot of me. I'm not gonna lie. Overhyped books. I'm just gonna do, like, of this year. I'm not gonna do, like, total because I don't feel like looking at my old books. All right, books that got overhyped. Wildfire. I didn't really like that one. Love Redesigned. It was okay. Honestly, if I'm being so for real, Queen of Shadows, because everyone made it seem like that book was the best book ever created in the entire world. Sorry about it. Funny Story. Definitely overhyped. Is that 4? Number 5. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Those are my 5 overhyped. All right, underhyped? I don't know. I might need to go back to Goodreads for this one. Survive the Night by Riley Sager is really low rated. That's one of my favorite ones of his. That can be 1. Oh my god. So is House Across the Lake. That can be 2. You know what's underhyped? A Court of Frost and Starlight. Why do people not like that one? It honestly pisses me off when people say they didn't like it. Don't care, you piss me off. I'm seeing a lot, 4 books in a row that are really low rated on Goodreads, like below a 4. It's Normal People, Icebreaker, Pucking Around, and If He Had Been With Me. You know what? I'm going to say it. Pucking Around is underhyped. That book is so good. Behind the Net has a higher rating than Icebreaker. Overhyped. Light Lark, for sure. Hated that book. Favorite Harry Potter character? Sirius Black, without a doubt. Favorite book of all time, if I don't have one, top 5. I'm supposed to be drinking in between. I'm already almost done with this. The amount of cat hair on the side of this can. Favorite book of all time, I would still say is Fourth Wing. Say what you want, I don't care. Favorite book of all time. But if I were to pick a top 5, it would be Fourth Wing, A Court of Wings and Ruin, probably Manacled, Haunting Adeline, and then, like, a switch up between Caught Up and Just for the Summer. Fuck, Marry, Kill, Rhysand, Bucky Barnes, and Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man. That's... How dare you? How dare you? I mean, the worlds have a lot to do with my decisions. I would fuck Andrew. I'm sorry, I would. Raw. Next question. We're in Bookish. I'm sorry. This was probably supposed to be, like, G-rated, but it's too late. Marry Rhysand, because I would like to be in that world the most, and would like to also have an unlimited amount of times with Rhysand. And then I would have to kill Bucky. I just would. I'm sorry. I don't really want to be in that world. Favorite book of 2024. It's either Just for the Summer or Caught Up. I can't decide. When did you start reading again, and what book got you back into it and why? I started reading at the very beginning of 2022, like January, and it was Verity. My friend Haley, you'll know Haley, she texted me to read Verity, and I couldn't get the title right. I called it Velocity an numerous amount of times, like an unreal amount of times.
No, it's not. Why can't I remember the name of the fucking My brain has convinced me it's called Veracity.
And I just was like, who knew reading was fun? Like, I didn't know reading was supposed to be fun like this. That was literally the first book that I think I read, like, for pleasure outside of, like, schoolwork. Also, like, the week before that, I was really big into My Favorite Murder, and they had just released their Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered book, and I had wanted that just as a fan of the show, and I had read that. So I was kind of, like, in the reading kick. Like, I guess you could say that was the first book I read. What do you use to track your reading stats? Just Goodreads. I downloaded Fable, and then was like, when it told you could download your Goodreads stuff onto Fable, I did, and then it never showed up, so I got frustrated and never looked at it again. So I'm a Goodreads bitch. Oh my god, I'm not gonna remember to keep drinking. I'm really not. What is your favorite video to film? I feel like filming and editing, I like two different ones. So my favorite things to film are probably like book tags, where I just get to talk about my favorite books, basically. Reading challenges, where I'm like forced to sit down and read. I think those are fun. But like editing wise, I like to edit vlogs because I feel like I get to be the most creative with them. And I don't really get to be like as creative with things like this because I'm just editing me talking, sitting down talking the whole time. So it's like sit down videos aren't as fun to edit. They're easier to film. But vlogs, they take up more of your time, but they're the most fun to edit for me. And I love editing. Editing is my favorite part, I've realized. So as much as I love to talk and be behind a camera, I love to edit. Favorite ACOTAR book and why? I feel passionate about this. I am so set on how Wings of Ruin is the best ACOTAR book, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Everyone says Mist and Fury is their favorite, just because this will be spoiler free, don't worry. Just because like there's a big change in that book, and like you know what the change is if you've read it. But the whole like first half of that book is very slow, very like we're building up to the big thing at the end. The end is amazing. I will not, from chapter 50 to the end of the book, amazing. But Wings and Ruin is good from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat from start to finish. The fucking High Lord meeting, so good. The end battle, the war was so well done. I was bamboozled. I was bamboozled in that book. That is what I compare every fantasy to is Wings and Ruin. It's so good. When are you shipping my annotated copy of Quicksilver? I just got that bitch. You freaking wish I was annotating and sending it to you. You freaking wish. Who's got an extra $20 to buy an extra copy of Quicksilver? Not me. Not me. I have 2 jobs because I need to buy that Quicksilver for myself. Have you read any Frida McFadden? If so, what are your thoughts? Okay, I have a lot of thoughts on Frida. The Housemaid was one of the first thriller books I've ever read. And other than like Verity, I guess you can count that as thriller, but like when I got into thriller, The Housemaid was one of the ones that got me into them. And I was blown away by that book. I had so much fun reading it. And I've said this before, and I think Frida McFadden books, you're gonna read the first one and just be shocked by it. You're like, oh my god, I never saw that coming. I am bamboozled. And then you read the next one and you're like, oh, I kind of saw that one coming. And then you read another one, you're like, okay, so they all follow the same kind of pattern. And I got into the habit of when I read Frida books, I'm like, okay, well, it's not going to be what you think. It's going to be the most obscure thing you could possibly imagine. So the whole time I'm reading, I'm thinking of the most obscure thing. And then either I got it right or I was too far off, so it's not as dramatic and like I'm let down, you know? So I feel like Frida books are good if you read one like every 6 months or like your first one's gonna be the best one. So like I haven't found a Frida book I've disliked, but The Housemaid is the first and the best one that I've read. Least favorite book and why? I've got this. Tell me lies. I have never felt more passionate about how much I hate a book than Tell Me Lies. I think it is one of the most harmful books I've ever read, especially if younger girls are reading it. I was exhausted reading it. The entire fucking time she talks about, I'm gonna make this quick because I don't feel like getting into it. The entire time from the girl's perspective, she's talking about how she needs to stop eating, she needs to lose weight, she's too fat. And then we'll go into the boy's perspective and he's just talking about how anorexic she is and how gross she is and how he wants to hook up with her, but the second that he gets her, he cheats on her. It was so exhausting to read. I didn't enjoy any of it, and I love toxic shit, trust me. But there's a difference between harmful and toxic. Magnolia Parks, toxic. Eat it up. It's fine. Magnolia Parks is not harmful to girls' self-esteem, and just like, it was like the author was not writing with the intention of girls having a good time. So I just like, I don't understand it. I don't get the TV show. I think it's terrible. I just don't like any of it. Did you ever get caught reading a freaky book? If so, which one? I don't think I've ever been caught reading a freaky book. Plus, like, that wouldn't bother me if I did. I just would be like, okay. And what about it? Like, I used to bring Pucking Around. That's clearly not a G-rated book. I did one time. It was during COVID. It was during those, like, drive-through COVID tests. And I went one time while listening to Call Her Daddy in my car. It was connected to my car. The guy came up to my car to give me the damn thing up my nose, and playing on my screen it said Butt Stuff was the name of the podcast, and he saw it. I was like, I'm so sorry. But it was just Call Her Daddy. Like, it wasn't anything weird. Favorite book series of all time? That one was hard to go down. I wanted to drink the wine, but I need to go open it. I'll snack while I do this question. Favorite book series of all time? ACOTAR. It just is. Wow. Fourth Wing is my favorite book. ACOTAR is my favorite series. I just love it. I want to be in it. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, I'm gonna go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookish questions left. I'm gonna go get a glass and a wine opener for this, and I'll be back. Okay. I'm back. I feel sufficiently drunk. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding when I say this. I've had the one shot, the one neutral, and like maybe I poured this much wine. I just went downstairs to talk to my mom for like 10 minutes and I feel drunk. I was sitting there and I was like, oh God. We're just getting started. I'm not even done with the book questions. We haven't even gotten to the personal shit. God. What was I on? Would you ever consider starting a subscriber book club or opening a Discord server? I'm not gonna lie to you when I say I don't understand Discord. I don't. I've had a Discord in the past, which like, we're already getting into the funny personal shit. I got a Discord when I was dating my last boyfriend to jokingly, it wasn't serious, to jokingly spy on him because he would play video games on Discord and I would pretend I wasn't me. And watch what he was saying with his friends. That was the only he had a feeling it was me the whole time, so it's fine. It's not, it wasn't that crazy. It sounds crazier than it actually is. Anyways, I've seen groups where it's like, for role model, there's a Discord to like join and talk about things. I don't get it. I don't. There's too many things. So like, if I ever learn how to work Discord, like, well, I would think about it. I thought about Patreons, but I honestly feel like when I think of people with Patreons, I think of people like Sarah Caroli and like much bigger people. So it doesn't, like, that gives me imposter syndrome to like think about having a Patreon, because that feels like why would you pay to talk to me for like a little bit longer than other people? I'm gonna leave my favorite for last. Oh, easy. If you could live in any fictional world, what would it be? I mean, like, I initially just want to say ACOTAR, like, obviously, but I would like to say, like, I don't want to live in a world where there's a bunch of wars. So if I could live in ACOTAR post-war, that would be cool. If I could live in like the Windy City series, like, friendship group with the hot athletes, yes, I would do that very quickly. So ACOTAR or the Windy City series. There's a lot of questions. This is a lot of sips. They're gonna get smaller as we go so I don't throw up. I need my snack on me. My mom got Arby's without getting me any. A book you hate that everyone loves. I mean, I could easily say Tell Me Lies because a bunch of people fucking love that, but Ruthless Vows, fucking hated that book. I need Cheez-Its in here. I don't really hate that many books. I don't know. Probably just tell me lies then. Favorite long series. I don't really know what we mean by long, like extra long. To me, Throne of Glass is a long series. Zodiac Academy, long series. Obviously, my first would just be ACOTAR, if you count that as a long series. I think you can count big books as a long series, so I would say the Pucking Around series, because it's novella, big book, novella, big book, novella, big book. And she's writing more, so that's another one. I mean, Harry Potter is a long series. Game of Thrones, I haven't read them, but like that's my favorite TV show. So like I know I'll love the books. I'm just waiting to where I'm like mentally ready to read and sit down and read the Game of Thrones series. That's probably it. Okay, I was waiting for this one. This one's fun. Book boy. I'm changing it to just book, not specifically book boy, but book hear me outs. The most unhinged. The person who asked this, they said theirs was the cereal. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm gonna add some. I love Hear Me Outs. I think they're so funny. Okay, first one. The snake. That's not what it is. It's like a spider. The spider human thing in Quicksilver. Cade, I think is his name, or Caden, or I don't want to look it up because I don't want to get it wrong, and I don't want to get up. But Cade from Throne of Glass, and literally the book Throne of Glass, the first one, when he was the big bad guy and he was like just shit talking Selena the whole time, and he was like, all I hear is yapping. Cade does it for me. I really hope that's his name. I hope I'm getting it right. This isn't a book, but Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones. I'm a Ramsay bitch. I really am. Nope, that's a spoiler. The person, if you've read it, you know who it is. This person, but specifically in Ghost Leopard form from Empire of Storms. I'm not gonna say who, but when they're in Ghost Leopard form, yes. Michael in Brother. No, that one's so fucked up. That one's fucked up. Taryn. Obviously, like that's an obvious one. The cereal, I agree with the cereal, 100%. The character, I don't know what his name is. He's the Lord. I don't remember who it is in ACOTAR who sends the blood rubies. Who does that? She flirts with him. He finds out she was lying and he sends the blood rubies. Raw, next question. The house. The house in A Court of Silver Flames. The house gets it. Either you get it or you don't. Voldemort. Moving on. The fake henchmen in Satan's Affair. They're all not real. But yes. I'm getting giggly. This is not good. Last but not least. Mrs. Bridgerton. Mrs. Bridgerton. She's got it going on. She's the it girl. I'm not gonna lie. So Mrs. Bridgerton. Okay. That's it for bookish related questions. We're gonna move on to, after I chug a little bit, I've decided I'm not gonna take any more shots because if I take shots, I will be blackout drunk. So we're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna chug this wine glass, and then after this wine glass, I'm gonna go back to my neutral. Okay, so whenever I finish. And then we're gonna go back to the wine in time for the R-rated questions. I'm back. I'm ready. I'm snacked up. I haven't moved. I just checked my text. That was as big as a gulp as I could manage right now. All right, we are in G-rated questions. What Taylor song would you be okay listening to for the rest of your life? Can't listen to anything but this song. I would say All Too Well 10-minute version if I'm going for like the most variety, like logistically speaking, because it's the longest. I would also say maybe like Tolerate It if I want to be sad for the rest of my life, or Timeless if I want to feel in love for the rest of my life. Like you want me to pick one song? Are you kidding? There are certain songs where I listen to them and I am transported to a different body, and that would be like Tolerate It, Nothing New, All Too Well. And then there are songs like Timeless. I'm blanking. I think I would realistically pick All Too Well, 10-minute version. No. Yeah, let's go with it. It's like either that or Timeless, I think. I really love Timeless. It just like makes me feel so in love, and I cry almost every time I listen to it. Oh my god. What's your worst secondhand embarrassment? Easy. Karaoke. I fucking hate karaoke. I've got to drink. People are always so shocked to find out I don't like karaoke because I'm fairly outgoing. I like to be center of attention. Seems like something I would like. I find it is the least funny thing I've ever witnessed with my own eyes, and I get so much secondhand embarrassment I cannot watch it. It's like, let me break it down. I'm so passionate about how much I hate karaoke. The idea of karaoke, it's supposed to be like funny. You're going up, you're singing a funny song, everyone's singing with you. The people go up there and sing like serious songs, you're like, what are you doing? So the main idea is to be like funny. So you go up, you have to pick a funny song, one that everyone's gonna love, that kind of thing. It is funny for about 10 seconds, and then you're singing, you have to sing a full 3 to 4 minute song. It's just awkward. I hate it. I hate the whole thing. I get so much secondhand embarrassment. What is your go-to coffee recipe at home? Right now, I have a Breville. If there's no seasonal creamer out, this is what I'm doing. Espresso, almond milk, and like a white chocolate creamer. That's what I'll do. If it's seasonal, I'll do pumpkin syrup, pumpkin spice creamer. Right now I have peppermint mocha creamer. That's about it. Cheesy Doritos or Cool Ranch Doritos? Shockingly, Cool Ranch. Johnny. I'm not making that one anonymous. Cool Ranch. And if you say cheesy Doritos, bye. My mouth is starting to taste like alcohol. I want to be inappropriate with this next one. I'll censor it out or I'll put it later. Favorite guilty pleasures. Okay, so TV, hobbies, etc. The etc. can go so far. TV, Glee. I don't know what changed in my life. The first 18 years of my life, I was the sports girl. Didn't like nerdy shit. The stereotypical kind of like female athlete, I guess you could say, as cringy as that sounds, I was. And then there was a lot of growth and learning about myself from the ages of like 18 to 22, which was super fun. But now from like 22 to 25, I fucking love Glee. I love musicals. I love Marvel. I love Game of Thrones. I love the nerdiest shit. I love Legos. Dude, Legos hate to see me come in. If they weren't so expensive, I would have so many fucking Legos. Like 16-year-old Kendall is so confused who this is, but I love it. Okay, this is fun. Where do you see yourself in 5 and 10 years? Okay, 5 years. Damn. I would be 30. I am someone who is excited for their 30s. I am not afraid to get old. I am excited for my 30s. In 5 years, I still see myself as a baby, because if you had asked me at 20 where I saw myself at 25, I would think very differently. And I still feel like a baby. So I feel like at 30, I'm not going to feel that much different. I don't foresee myself being a mom at 30 or married at 30. I kind of still see myself doing this. Maybe traveling in a van with my cats, kind of just like traveling and doing what I can while I can before I like settle down, if that makes sense. I don't see myself settled in 5 years, if that is an easy answer. Not settled yet, just kind of like doing what I want. In 10 years, I would like to be a homeowner. I wished I was a homeowner a couple years ago. Like, I've been wanting to buy a house. I don't think I'm ready because I still want to travel. I still, I want to live in a van before I own a home. And I think in 10 years, I'll be ready. I'll be 35. Obviously, if I'm meant to be a mother, if that's something that changes in my life trajectory, I feel like at 35, I will be a mother by then. Hopefully, I will be owning a bookstore. That would be cool in 10 years. I am in no hurry, though. I'm someone who is not in a single bit of hurry. I like how my life is. I like having the freedom to do what I want right now. The thing that's holding me back the most is I have 3 cats. Those are my children. And I'm lucky enough to have parents who can watch over them if I want to leave for a weekend or if I want to leave for a week or two, So I can't imagine being settled where I'm like a mother, opening a bookshop, that kind of thing, like within the next 5 years. That doesn't feel like something I want to do at all. There's too many things I want to do selfishly before I settle down somewhere. If you could choose to change one big thing in your life, what would it be? I feel like I would change like financial stability, because to be very transparent, I don't have savings. I currently am living paycheck to paycheck. That's just my life right now. The plan when I moved back home was to save money so I could move out on my own and buy a home. And as I've said, I'm not ready to buy a home. If I was financially stable to go do the fun things that I want to do, to go get the traveling done, get that bug out of me, would be really cool, and I could do it on YouTube and stuff, and that would be really fun. It's just not there. I don't have the financial stability. I am someone who likes to spend money on things. I like to go do things, so I would love to be able to quit my job because I can and not worry about bills, but I can't. Would you consider moving in with Logan, just the two of you? Yes, we actually want to buy a house together. So she's in college right now. It is a goal of ours to eventually buy a house and live together. Obviously, if she has different life goals for herself, marriage-wise. So if she were to fall in love and want to move in with a man she wants to marry, then it may not happen. But we do want to live together within the next couple of years. Oh my god, have you seen a ghost or believe in them? I 100% believe in ghosts, okay? That doesn't mean I'm not a scaredy cat. I'm a huge fucking scaredy cat, but I definitely believe in ghosts. I don't think I've ever seen a ghost. I one time had something that felt like sleep paralysis where I saw something. I don't know if I dreamt it or if it was real. I woke up at one point on my back and I could not move, but something just made me look at the door and I saw this like shadow that was like moving. It was light outside too, so it was like probably 6 a.m. and I saw it go from the doorway all the way around the walls to me, and then I quickly like woke up or whatever it was, but it scared the shit out of me. Like, I'm not kidding, that was so scary. And that's like the closest I've ever had to like an encounter with anything like that. But I used to love like I love haunted houses. I love that kind of stuff. I would love to interact with a ghost. I think that's so cool. I don't think all ghosts are like evil. In high school we had an insane asylum that was abandoned in Columbia. It's I don't know if it's still there actually. I think it's like blocked off, but we used to go there in high school and it was so fucking creepy. Never had any ghost encounters. Ugh. Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Probably like transportation. If I could just like appear somewhere else, that would be cool as fuck. Just like appear in a different part of the country, different part of the world. I wouldn't want telekinesis. I would get my feelings hurt way too often. Wait, that's not the right superpower. I think telekinesis is where you move things. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever said in my entire life. Reading minds, I would get my feelings hurt way too often. Biggest college regrets. I regret where I went. 100% fully just regret where I went. I think I did make the most of it. I went to Johnson & Wales, which was a culinary school. At 18, I wanted to be a like cake decorator. I was a cake decorator for like 5 years. I wanted to own a bakery for the longest time. I want like a little cake shop. Whoever lets 17-year-olds decide their life path, they need to be put down. I would never, if I could decide right now, if I was going back to college, I would never go there. I met some great friends at the time. I actually don't talk to a single person from college, which kind of makes me sad, but we just like are very different people. I'm very different from how I was in college. I'm not the same person at all. I don't want to be that person. I don't like that person. I played volleyball at Johnson & Wales, which like we ended up winning a national championship, so it's cool to say that like I've done that and like I won the big thing and I have that under my belt, but the coach hated me. It wasn't a good experience. I only did 2 years because I could not do another year, and I regret that till the day I die because I only did 2 years of volleyball when I could have had 4. I still have 2 years, and that's so sad thinking that like I've played volleyball since I was 7 and I cut it short because of a coach when that was like the love of my life. Like I loved volleyball more than anything. It made me who I was, and I didn't get to fulfill my dream of playing in college because I didn't want to be at that school anymore. I didn't want to have like those friends anymore. I didn't like who it was making me as a person, and it was expensive. I went on to be in like the culinary world for like 3 or 4 years and just like called it quits, and I don't do it anymore. It actually makes me quite angry when I think about it. So if I could go back and change, I would go to Coastal Carolina University. That was my second school that I really wanted to go to, and I really wanted to play volleyball there, and I wish I had. I think I would have had a really good time. I do think I made the most of it. Like I have really good memories from college. I have fun volleyball memories that I can look back on, but it's just like outweighed by the anger that I'm holding towards like my experience, you know? A lot of feelings about college, I'm not gonna lie. Do you want to stay in South Carolina? I want to settle down in Columbia, South Carolina, because my family's here. I can't imagine settling down somewhere else, but I want to travel to places before I settle down, like I said earlier. I feel like this is taking a turn. I'm getting like emotional and I need to turn that around. Like Logan and I want to kind of travel together. Like in the past, I moved to Hilton Head for a summer. I've lived there for 2 months. It was really fun. I moved back when I was kind of ready to move back. Logan and I want to go live in New York for a summer. I think that would be really fun. Check out places like Colorado, Chicago, travel and live in different places for a couple months at a time. So we've thought about doing that like a lot, but ultimately want to come back and settle down in Columbia. You know, I have nieces here, my parents are here, my siblings are here. Are you still interested in owning a bookstore or coffee shop? Yes, 100%. Not anytime soon. I can't even imagine if I tried to open a store right now. I feel 18. Like I really do. Neutral number 2. I'm changing the mood around because I feel like those last few questions were a downer for me. So we're gonna go into if you and your friends were stuck on an island without food, who would you eat first? Literally, whoever is annoying the fuck out of me the most. So probably Logan, but also realistically, I would be the friend. I would be the one eating first. Okay, it's just the way it is. I have the most meat on me and the most annoying, so it would happen. It would be me, but if not, Logan for sure. Darren Haley would be set. Who's your favorite artist on Instagram? I guess I'll take this moment to shout out Ty Beckham. I hope that was worth it for you. Have your dreams and aspirations changed since the last Q&A? I don't think so. I did a 3,000 subscriber Q&A. We've grown. We've come a long way. I'm so thankful for y'all, honestly. I had the same pretty much dreams as just like in the future. I want to open a bookstore / coffee shop. I feel like my 2 passions in life are coffee and books. I feel like it's the same. Like there's little things I want to do. Like it would be fun to go back and coach volleyball again. Big picture, same thing. Favorite number, 6. That was my number in volleyball. That was Logan's number. That was my sister Alex's number. That was my mom's number. Favorite in-law. Hannah, if you don't get off of my shit. You were my first in-law, but Johnny asked the Dorito question, so Johnny wins for best question from in-laws, so take that. Biggest goal for 2025. I feel like this past year with YouTube, it grew very quickly and like quicker than I ever could have imagined and expected. I would love, now that y'all have gotten my hopes up, I would love to be fully dependent on my YouTube, like financially. I would love to not have to worry about having another job and just worry about like putting my full force into YouTube and being able to do this. In December, I've taken a break from my job. I told her I couldn't work in December to focus on vlogmas, and it's made me realize like how much I really enjoy it. Like this is an everyday thing for me, and I would be okay with that if this was an everyday thing for me going forward. Obviously not as like hardcore as vlogmas because it's very hardcore, but like this, we are more than halfway through vlogmas and I have no complaints. I'm having so much fun doing it. Just like being fully dependent on YouTube would be fantastic. That's kind of my goal for 2025. This was my last question for the G-rated. God, I feel like we've been here for so long. I'm so gonna run out of storage. If money was no issue, what's a gift you'd buy yourself? If we're wait, these are so good. If you haven't tried the cranberry neutrals, there's like a cranberry variety pack too. So good. First, if like no money was no option, I would buy a custom made van made from someone who had a cat. So the litter box is already in there because people do that. And I would buy a van so I could go and travel in a van with my cats. But if we're thinking smaller, like much smaller, obviously that's huge. I would really like a desktop MacBook so I don't have to use my laptop everywhere I go. Like if I could get a desk instead of a desk and edit these things, that would be cool. AirPod Maxes, is that what they're called? The over-the-head AirPods, would love those. A really nice camera. Considering I'm still using my phone. We are over a year into this and I'm still using my phone. What is that? Or like nice ass cat shit. Like a wheel for the cats, a litter robot, the stuff where you can put it outside and let them roam around outside. I would love that shit. Ugh. Alright, but that is the end of the G-rated. We are going into PG-13. So if you're 12, bye. Alright, hold on. I need to like snack up again because I'm getting drunk. Hold on. Okay, if the angle is different, it's because I took a break to scroll on my phone. And I've learned a couple things in the time that I did that. For one, I fucking love y'all. Like, y'all are so funny. If you've ever debated messaging me thinking she probably doesn't want to talk to me, I do. Y'all are so funny. You literally make my day. I'm not kidding. Second, I love Alona. God. Like, I literally love Alona. Fourth, I'm a little drunk. There was a fifth. Fuck, there was a fifth. Don't remember it. That's so upsetting. But anyways, we're getting a little juicier. I hope you're ready. We're going to PG-13. Ugh, so pumped. I know I'll be sufficiently drunk by the time I get to rated R. PG-13 has commenced. Let's do a chug to cheers off PG-13 questions. And for those of you that asked R-rated questions, I love you. That's what I wanted, okay? If you had to shoplift, what would it be? I don't know. Probably like tampons? Like something I don't want to buy, like avocados. Something that's on my list to buy every time I go to the store. Advil. Literally, I'm not kidding. Greek yogurt. Nothing that exciting. Everyday shit like that, I would shoplift the fuck out of Greek yogurt if I could. Okay, what's your toxic trait? I have so many. I am a mess. Are you kidding me? Some smaller ones. Well, let's just start off. I'm terrible with communication. That's my toxic trait. If I were to get in a fight with someone, I will shut down and you won't hear from me. Funny toxic traits. I gag every time I brush my teeth. Like the most horrific feeling I could ever feel. Fully almost throwing up gag. I have thrown up before. I don't know what's wrong. It didn't used to be like that. My gag reflex is so bad, which leads me into my next point. I hate brushing my teeth because of the gagging. I fucking hate it. I do it every day because I have to, because I'm disgusting if I don't, but I fucking hate brushing my teeth. Toxic trait. Also, I will force you to watch a movie that I'm obsessed with, and then I will quote that movie the entire time to the point where you're gonna hate me. I can't stop quoting movies, and I can't stop making people watch the things I love. And I will watch you the whole time to make sure you love it. Oh, I'm the naked neighbor. If you have a naked neighbor, it's me. I 100%, this window stays open 24/7 and I walk around naked at any point in the day. I don't care. It could be at nighttime with my lights on. I guarantee my neighbors have seen my boobs more times than anyone in the world. I don't care. I cannot find it in me to care about my neighbors potentially seeing me naked. Don't care at all. Oh my god, this one's terrible. It's not toxic, but it's so fucking annoying that I do it. I will use my phone when I'm asleep. I will sleep text people. The worst one, this was the absolute fucking worst one I've ever done. There was a boy that I'm still like to this day acquaintances with, okay? We used to talk and like, it was like a middle school dating, okay? We used to talk in middle school. I still to this day have a crush on him. Thank you very much. We haven't talked since high school, okay? We are like 7 years out of high school. I graduated in 2017. It's 2024. Whatever that is. Ew. Okay. What? I haven't talked to him years. Every once in a while I'll see him out at a bar and we'll say hey, but I Snapchatted him and I woke up, okay, to an opened Snapchat from this man. A chat, not a picture, a chat. I do not know what the fuck I sent him. And it's like, that sounds so fake. Yes, you do. I genuinely don't. You could put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what I sent him. I even Snapchatted him again because like, we're friendly enough to where it's not that weird. I Snapchatted him again and I said, I'm not kidding. I do not know what I sent you. I was sleep chatting you. I don't know how else to explain it, but I was Snapchatting you in my sleep. Didn't answer. That was so embarrassing, so humbling. And he had a very serious girlfriend at the time, so I felt bad because I don't know what I sent him. Imagine it was flirty. Imagine. And I have seen him since. I have spoken to him twice at a bar since that happened, and I've never brought it up. I'm sure if I saw him again drunk enough, I would bring it up so fucking fast because that's just something that I would do, but I don't. So that 100% is a toxic trait, is I will use my phone in REM fucking sleep. I'll use my phone. Ugh. Worst date. I am not someone, I don't go on dates. I don't like them. I don't find them fun. I don't do them. But for some reason in college, I was working in the gym front desk. It was like a student job. And this guy comes in with, like, he didn't go there. He came in with some friends who went there. And he, for some reason, I mean, like, obviously, he loved me. And asked me out on a date. And I was like, you know what? Why the fuck not? I think it was the first time I was ever asked on a date and went. Like, that has never happened to me. It ended up being Chipotle. Like, we were just like, let's just go get food. He was old. I remember, like, at the time, I was no more than 19 because I graduated at 19. And he had to have been late 20s. So, to me, he was an old man. All right? Let me start there. The plan is Chipotle. I had to pick him up. That was red flag number one. I picked him up. And I was having a lot of car troubles that week. And I have a lot of car trauma. I was in a really bad car wreck when I was 15. So I'm very uneasy with cars. And at this time of my life, I was not really past it yet. Like now I'm past it. So it's fine. But at this time in my life, at 19, I was still struggling with that. So I didn't want to drive him. I was not feeling safe in my own car. But I did it for some reason. So I go and pick him up. We're on the way to Chipotle. My fucking car tire blows in the middle of the interstate. The interstate. That is a nightmare for me. And I don't know how to change a car tire. Luckily, I had a spare tire. I pull off on this interstate with this strange man I met today. And I'm having a panic attack. A literal panic. I start sobbing violently. And y'all don't know me. I am not the type, especially at 19, I was not the type to cry. I have just now grown in touch with my feelings at 25 where I feel okay crying in public. Before 20, you never saw me crying ever. It was so embarrassing for me. But I was sobbing to this man because of the unsteady feeling of driving. Like when my tire popped, it just sent me into a panic attack to the point where I called my dad about my tire popping. I don't even know if he remembers this. And I made the guy talk to my dad on the phone to change my tire. I don't know what they talked about. I literally don't know. It was like I was just seeing red. I was so unwell. That was just the beginning of the date. I was literally that's how the date started. So clearly he wasn't gonna kill me. He talked to my father. And then he put the spare tire on. We went to Chipotle. I think I still have his phone, his number on my phone, his old man. I don't even remember what his name was. We went to Chipotle and he was rude to the Chipotle workers. That sent me over the edge. I literally almost was like, I need to leave. Like, who? You're gonna be rude? That is one thing I will not put up with, is like you being rude to like your waiters and stuff. So we sit down. We didn't really talk about much. Like it was just very awkward. It's honestly probably why I don't date now, because it's fucking awkward. We're on the way home. I honestly don't even remember if he paid for my Chipotle, but we're on the way home and he gets me, sweet, naive 19-year-old Kendall. I was probably 18 at the time. He gets me to stop at a liquor store because he was old as fuck, and he bought himself beer, like a 6-pack of beer or whatever the fuck, and then got me to drop him off at his apartment and asked me to go upstairs. I said no. I'm proud of myself for saying no, because thinking about 19-year-old Kendall, that's absolutely something I would have been like, sure. And just like awkwardly gone up and felt uncomfortable. But I said no. I said, no, you can get out of my car. And I went home, and it was the worst date I've ever been on. And I don't think I've been on a like first date since. I'm way drunker than I thought. Anytime I get up to check my phone, I'm like, whoa. And I only want these little brown pieces. Fuck the pretzels. These are good too. No, not those. The rigidy ones. Those in the fucking litter box. I'm gonna lose it. I'm not kidding. I have no idea how long this video is gonna be. I feel like the further I get into the video, the more times I check my phone, and it's gonna like change. Whatever. Where were we? I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember why I stopped. The next one is so rude. Not actually. Like, if I didn't want to answer these questions, I wouldn't. But rank your cats from least favorite to favorite, and why. How dare you? Sorry, I'm working. Okay, sorry, I'm just such a dog walker. I have so many things. Speaking of, I used to be on Rover a lot, like when I didn't have a job at all. And I just recently got back on it, and I got a Rover immediately for almost $1,000 to watch 5 Pomeranians. Y'all are gonna see that shit. Y'all are gonna see that shit so fucking fast. I will immediately be filming something going on there. 5 Pomeranians? That's insane. My favorite cats. Okay, obviously this is not a shock even to the cats. My favorite is Muggs. She is my first baby. I got her when I first graduated college. She was this big when I got her. I had to bottle feed her. She has seizures. She's blind. She's deaf. She has so many fucking issues, and she poops outside of the litter box, but I love her more than life itself. The day she dies, I will not be the same person. She has been with with me since I was 19. If she doesn't make it to see like my life in 10 years, I'm gonna be so pissed at her. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed at her. She's 5 right now, but she's my OG baby, and I have never loved something the way that I love Mugs. And then I got Luna. She is my most independent cat. So like if I had to rank them, Luna would probably be 3rd just because Stinky's more cuddly. Luna doesn't like to cuddle unless it's on her time. We're very similar in that way. She's my queen bee bitch. And then Stinky is just Stinky. He is my cuddly. I could spin on my finger and he would kiss me afterwards. Like I got so lucky with my cats. Like all of them are just the sweetest fucking cats. I don't know. Like I guess it would be Mugs, Stinky, Luna based on their like cuddliness and how dependent they are on me. But personality wise, I don't know. I love them all to the point where I cry about them all the time. Like more than the average human probably cries about their pets. How much money have you made through social media? I will be very transparent with this. I don't think it's like a weird question to ask about that. To be very quick and frank, I got monetized sometime last year, and you only get paid out by YouTube if you make $100 in a month. The first readathon actually is what made me get monetized and made me get paid out, and I've been paid out every month since. It's kind of just like grown each month a little bit. I started out with around 100 each month. After like the second readathon, it kind of grew a little to like 300 or 400 a month, and now I make around 500 to 600 a month. I think the most that I made was like 550 or something like that. Hi Luna, I was just talking about you, sweet girl. And like after Vlogmas, I'll probably make around 800. So like if I compare that to a regular job, it's not enough to make it sustainable. I'm like super grateful, and I never even imagined making that kind of money from something that brings me so much joy like this. So around the 500 area is where I'm kind of sitting at a month. Okay, are you regretting Vlogmas? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Like I don't know if it comes off that I regret doing this. This is some of the most fun I've ever had with YouTube. I think I went into it with higher hopes, I will say. I had higher hopes that it would perform a little better. In my head, I was like, okay, well, when I post right now, I'm getting a certain amount of views. So imagine if I got that amount of views every single day. And that's not what happens with Vlogmas. You know, the views go down because so many people are posting every single day. So I forget that like the amount of content out there is just astronomical. Like there's just an unreal amount of videos that's being posted every single day, to the point where I, as an avid YouTube watcher, I don't even watch. Like I haven't even watched all of Sarah's videos, and I'm an avid Sarah watcher. So that was kind of hard for me to realize, like, oh, this isn't gonna perform as well as you thought it was going to perform. But I just no regrets. Like I've had so much fun doing this. I've connected with new people through this. It's so much fun. How are you really doing? I'm doing fantastic. I think this is the first time in my life where I've been able to say I'm truly happy with where I am. I have gotten to a point in my life where I'm old enough. I feel like it's kind of like your early 20s is a time in your life where you think you're having a good time. You're very unsure of like a lot of things. You're probably dating someone that you shouldn't be dating, hence me. I just feel like there was a switch at about 24 and 25 where I've realized who I am as a person. I've become confident in who I am as a person and my beliefs and my opinions. Sure, I'm living at home with my parents. That's not like an ideal situation for someone in their 20s, but I have no complaints, you know, like I don't mind it. I'm not looking to date. I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, and I'm having fun doing it. Like YouTube is my main priority right now, and I'm having so much fun doing it. So like I have no complaints. I'm doing amazing. We're getting to the end of the PG-13 and it's slowly getting to the R-rated. I feel like I need to be drunker. Someone definitely just pooped in here too. Luna just pooped. I can definitely smell it. Hey, sweet girl. God. If I were to rank the cats based on their shedding, Luna's fucking last. She sheds like a motherfucker. It's fucking white. She's such a bitch for that. Okay. Luna, mommy's busy. Mommy's working. The next question is, what is your dating life like? When I tell you non-existent, I'm not kidding. I don't date. I don't like to date. There's so much cat hair now attached to me. I'm a firm believer in it's gonna happen when it happens. I'm not gonna actively search for it. I don't really care to search for it. And I honestly cannot imagine being in a relationship right now, so I don't want to be. Oh no, I haven't been on a date since I was with my last boyfriend like 2 years ago. How long have you known you're homophobic? Since the second you told me you were gay. How about that? And do you hate me? Yes, I do. the second you told me you were gay. Homophobic, like immediately. I actually changed to being homophobic because you told me you were gay. So how's that feel? Top 3 icks. Give me a second. If you're an avid hunter, if you hunt occasionally, it's fine. But if that's your whole personality every weekend is you're hunting, if you're disgustingly straight, and if you're a Republican. Next question. What jobs have I had? Favorite and worst. I have had so many fucking jobs, you wouldn't believe it. It's almost embarrassing how many jobs. Like, I'm not proud of it. I wish I could stick to a job. I will not stay at a job if I'm unhappy. It's not worth my time. I don't understand what this point is of, like, people being scared to quit a job when they're unhappy. That job means nothing to me. Why would I stay there if I'm unhappy? Like, I don't get it. I'll try and do it like really quickly, but my first job in college was the gym, like desk girl. It was fine. I went to, I don't fucking know. I have so many, I'm not kidding. I was a country club bartender. Loved it. Can only do it during the summer. I was a volleyball coach. I was just like a waiter at the beach. This is so out of order, like completely out of order, but I was a cake decorator right out of college. Loved it. Had a lot of fun at the time. And then I was a pastry chef at a bakery. Loved it. It was just overnight, so I couldn't do it. I was a State Farm insurance agent, like a licensed insurance agent, believe it or not. I sold people life insurance and home insurance for 1 month and then got fired because I had a seizure. So if you're new here, I talked about it in my last Q&A, but yeah, I had a seizure and couldn't drive for 6 months, so he fired me and then denied me my unemployment. But anyways, I was a nanny. Loved it. Loved and hated it sometimes. I am currently an Orange Theory sales associate, so like I worked the desk at Orange Theory. I worked in catering. I was a caterer or server / bartender for a really long time, and I enjoyed it for the time. Like in college, I enjoyed it. I think that was pretty much it. But I would say my favorite, I really liked cake decorating. Obviously, it was fun. It was creative. I was good at it. It ended up being like terrible because I hated the environment, and I was tired of people complaining about their cakes. Like, it just made it not fun. I hated the State Farm insurance. I enjoyed it at the time. I thought it would be something that I could excel in, but I think the seizure happening was like the universe's way of telling me you don't need to be in this, and like you need to change your life around and go home, because it was when I just gotten dumped too. So it was just like everything happened at once, where I lost my job, my boyfriend, my ability to drive, and I was just like, I just need to move home, and my whole life changed for the better. So I think it was a sign that like I wasn't going in the right direction. So I would probably say the State Farm shit was the worst. Oh my god, that's the end of the PG-13. So you know what that means. We need to get a little drunker for this. I'm gonna finish this before I start it and pour a glass of wine. Let's just say without these snacks, I would have thrown up a long time ago. Mentally prepping myself. There's like this much left. Also, like, I keep checking my phone in between these things just to, like, you know. And with the last few videos, I've been sick, and a lot of you have been like, you can take a day off, like, it's fine, like, just rest your voice. I don't want to. Like, I appreciate it. And trust me, if I genuinely didn't want to, I wouldn't. These are like the highlights of my day, that I get to do this. Even though I complain, because I'm just a complainer. I, from the bottom of my heart, look forward to doing these. So, like, don't worry. I wouldn't do them if I didn't want to. I promise. I'm good. I love that y'all are okay and that y'all support me enough to care about me like that, but I'm good, I promise. I probably need to work on like not complaining as much. Bro, this is so good. It just single-handedly get me through this video. It's time. Take it seriously. I'm so drunk right now. I'm gonna be such an open book. It's Taylor Swift's birthday today. I've cried at like 4 different fucking videos. I was just looking at my friendship bracelets on my tree. It made me think of her. Alright, done. I can refill, and we can get ready for the R-rated questions, which means it is time for my parents to leave. My siblings and like siblings-in-laws, it's up to you. I feel like the majority of you don't want to hear about the color of my vibrator, so maybe it's time for y'all to leave, okay? I'll give you a second. Thank you for watching. You can now leave. I appreciate the support. This is not a safe space for y'all, so goodbye. Anyways, that wasn't a question, but I knew it would get them gone. It's black, in case you're wondering. Let's fucking go. I'm so ready for the R-rated questions. God. Knowing that my mother is asleep downstairs just makes it even better. Shut up, Stinky. What? What's up? Come here. Come on. Oh. I just would die for them. Favorite spicy scene? That's hard. There are a couple scenes that just like instantly come to mind. The gun scene in Haunting Adeline. Either in Haunting or Hunting, but the car scene when they have car sex, that was good. In Pucking Around, the original closet scene, like the first the very first closet scene when Jake and Caleb first initiate, that one was good. Loved it. There's a scene in Pucking Ever After, I believe, where Caleb is just really, he's going in, he's talking dirty, and it really did it for me. It was good. There's an eating ass scene in The Fake Out. What else is there? The first scene in Pucking Around when all three of the guys are included. Amazing. I just love them. Okay, anyways, moving on. Oof. Okay. The next question is spicy scene that got you going the most. So the scene in Pucking Around, Jake first, like, okay, I'm just gonna say it. When Jake first blows Caleb, she's there like navigating and like helping out. So they're like kind of both blowing Caleb. I ate it up. And then also in Satan's Affair, when Sibby fucks like 4 imaginary. You don't know they're imaginary, but they're imaginary. 4 of her henchmen. That was crazy work. That was crazy work. Next question. Mads Mikkelsen, Pedro Pascal, or both? Pedro Pascal by a long shot. Wrong. I had to look up who Mads Mikkelsen was. No. Pedro Pascal by a long shot. Something non-sexual that turns you on. Okay. If he's a little gay... I don't know if this counts as non-sexual because I guess it can be sexual, but like his willingness to make out with a boy, that's included in the scale. But I guess like completely non-sexual. If he likes Taylor Swift, 100%. I feel like that's a good one for me to say. Some of these I'm not ready to get into. Worst relationship experience. I've never had a positive one, so really all of them, but being dumped by someone who was uglier than me and who made me ugly sent me to therapy and made me insanely depressed. That was humbling. By someone who was uglier than me. Never again. Never again. That was insane behavior by me. By me. If y'all had seen me between the ages of 20 and 21, insane behavior by me, honestly. It's disgusting. Have you thought of someone else while hooking up with another to make it better? I genuinely do not think I've ever thought about someone while like in the act. Definitely after. Definitely after. I was like, damn. To be fair, most of the college ones were blackout drunk, so those were some else. First kiss, when and where. This is so funny to me. I wish y'all had known me at like 15 and 16. I was scared to death to kiss a boy at like 15, even 16, like scared to death for no reason. I avoided it at all costs to the point where I broke up with someone because of it. But my first real kiss, I don't even claim this. Honestly, I wish one day that he sees this and knows how I felt about our kiss. It was the summer going into freshman year of high school. I was dating this boy. Like, you know, dating. Like, we just texted all the time. We didn't hang out. So this was, like, our first, like, real date alone. And he groped my boob. To be fair, I had massive knockers in like 9th grade, like way bigger than someone in 9th grade that should have had knockers, way too big for a 14-year-old. And I was wearing a tank top, so there was cleavage. I'm not kidding when I say knockers bigger than some people do at 20. They were huge. And so he literally groped my boob and then tried to kiss me. And it was at a movie theater. We were seeing, what movie was it? Oh my God. Fuck, I don't know what movie it was. Oh, that's gonna haunt me. Dang it. He, like, tried to grab my chin, and I was trying to avoid it all. Like, it was very apparent I didn't want to because I was uncomfortable. And he, like, grabbed my chin and kissed me, and I instantly turned away. And then later that week, I broke up with him over text. That should have been the first sign. But anyways, I hope he's doing well now. Okay. Worst hookup story. Dude, I have so many. I have so many bad ones. College was such a fever dream, truly. One was when I was playing volleyball at Johnson & Wales. So, like, culinary school in North Carolina that is filled with a lot of dorky people who want to be chefs. And the athlete parties went hard. It was only the athletes that went to these parties. So we partied with the same people every fucking week. The hottest soccer player. I will say to this day, the hottest person I hooked up with. I was a freshman, so I was 18, and he was a sophomore. It was the day we were both coming back from our national championship tournament. And this is so funny because, like, it's not that hard to figure out who it is, like, if you know me. It was the year we didn't win, so we had gotten back at a normal time. Soccer, they were on the way back and got stuck in insane traffic, and their bus broke down on the interstate and did not get back until 4 a.m. I was so desperate for this because we had been flirting all weekend. You know, we were at the same tournament, we were flirting it up, and I was so desperate to hook up with him because he was so hot that I knew they were getting back at 4 a.m. I set an alarm for 4 a.m. for when they were getting back. And he came and picked me up at 4 a.m. from their bus trip home. Like, I know he was tired. And I went and spent the night with him. It was from 4 to 7 a.m. was the most awkward encounter I have ever done in my entire life. Like, we were watching this scary movie and, like, barely talking. Why did he not take charge? I don't know. It's like he expected me to take charge. I was 18. I was a baby. And then we eventually ended up at 7. The sun was coming up when we started. And it was it's so funny saying this out loud. My head kept hitting the headboard. And he was like, "Do you want to move down?" It was so bad. It was literally one of the worst hookups I've ever had in my entire life. But he was so hot. Like, what happened? Where was the miscommunication? I don't know, but he ended up getting one of my teammates pregnant, so glad it wasn't me. And then there was also a time when my best friend in college at the time was really into this guy. So we devised a plan, okay, where she wanted to go back. We were living in dorms at the time. She wanted to go back with him, okay? So my job of the night was to get the roommate out of the room. His roommate was hot and a soccer player. Easy, okay? I've got this. Plan commences. I get the soccer player roommate to leave with me back to my room. I was blackout drunk. It was so bad. I woke up. There were bloody handprints on my bed. And it was bigger than my hand, so I know it was his. It was a bloody handprint. Like, it looked like a fucking crime scene. I don't know what happened. I don't remember it. To this day, I cannot remember what the fuck happened, but there was a bloody handprint that I woke up next to. I will literally never forget that. It was so funny. And then there's also the time that this one says, "What is your self-esteem like? How much do you weigh? And are you happy with your body?" Okay, let me backtrack. First of all, you're lucky that I do not get offended with these kind of questions because I'm happy with who I am and that I'm also a little drunk. So, like, careful in the future who you ask these questions to. I am not someone who is struggling with any type of eating disorder, but someone might be. So maybe don't ask those types of questions. I am someone who has struggled with weight my entire life since I was like 8. Like, literally my nickname was Fat Kendall when I was little. So, like, as much of an athlete as I was, always struggled with my weight. It was just in the cards for me, I guess. And I went through phases where, like in high school, where I thought I needed to be the skinniest bitch. And at one point, I just like wasn't eating that much and I lost a ton of weight. Looking back now, it was way, like, that's just like not that's not what I should have looked like. And it's not how my body is made to be. And then I feel like a lot of people went through changes in COVID. And during COVID, I was dating my last boyfriend where I gained, I'm not kidding, 100 pounds. So it was a shock to like realize that about myself, and then lost 50 of it. And I've gotten to the point in my life where I am content with who I am as a person and what I look like as a person. I will never look like the skinny bitches that I see. It's just not in the cards for me. I have finally, I'm not kidding when I say from the years of maybe 12 to 23, there was not a day that went by that I did not think about like what I was eating and what I looked like, and it's exhausting to live that way. So being at an age now where I am happy with myself, of course there are days where I want to drown myself in the pool in the backyard because of how I look. Sure, everyone's gonna have those days, but getting to a point where I am happy with how I feel as a human is a huge step for me. I wish that upon everyone else, and I know how hard it is to compare yourself to every single fucking person in the world, but I mean, also questions like this don't really help. The how much do you weigh question, that is so out of pocket because weight carries itself differently on every single person. I weightlift a lot, so like I could literally bench press your mom. It may not look like it, but I can bench press the fuck out of your mom. So like a lot of my weight is also muscle. So like it doesn't really matter, and there's no reason to compare yourself. And I put this in the R-rated section because I don't think it's really healthy for younger people to see that and to think about that. And I'm very passionate about like fitness and how you see yourself and weight and that kind of stuff. And as I get older, it has changed a lot for me, and I just wish that like I could give younger Kendall a hug for how much she struggled with that. And I don't think it's something that I think it's something that needs to be talked about because it's such a societal thing. I think it's just, it breaks my heart thinking about the people and thinking about how I used to feel about that kind of stuff and how different I view myself now. Like I value myself now more than I ever have in my entire life. And I just wish that I had that when I was younger, when I was growing up and like going through the stages of life of being overweight, you know. That's a topic that I'm glad you brought it up, but like it's not something that I think needs to be asked to, like I'm glad it was me that was asked it and not someone that struggles with an eating disorder, because I don't. I'm also someone who their weight will fluctuate week to week. You will see it, especially in my face, and especially because I'm on camera, you'll see it in my face. You'll see week to week if my face is rounder than normal. It's what happens. Moving on, we are at our last couple of questions. Okay, we're gonna try and make it a little more lighthearted because I feel like I went on a little bit of a tangent there. Tell us about your love life. Everything from start to finish, aka now. I could start as early as my first 6th grade boyfriend that lasted a couple of weeks through text. I could tell you about obviously my horrific first kiss experience that led into me dating this other guy who made fun of my teeth, so I broke up with him. My first 2 teeth are crooked, if you haven't noticed, and it used to be worse before braces. They actually were fixed, and then I stopped wearing a retainer, so they went back, but they used to be a lot worse before braces, and he made fun of them, so I broke up with him because of that. This was like in 9th grade. And then I feel like I never really had that many serious boyfriends. I had like talked to a lot of people, is like what you said back then. I met a boy my sophomore year. He was younger than me. I spent the next 10 years of my life obsessed with him, and he played me like a violin for 8 of those 10 years. Happy to say that is not ongoing. That was a big therapy topic as well, and it took over most of my life. And then I would say like random people here and there in college and shit like that, but nothing ever serious. And then when I graduated college, I started working at a catering company. I met my very first like very serious boyfriend, where we were friends for like 6 months before we started dating. And I thought he was the one. I was like, he's so funny, he gets me. And then it turned into he's a narcissist. And then it turned into he actually hates me. We did not want the same things, which is crazy thinking about like back then. He didn't want certain things that I wanted at the time. Me now, like years later, I actually want those things. Like I also don't want like marriage and kids and stuff like that as much, which was his big thing. But it was just it was not a good relationship after like a year. I did him for 2 years. I was like basically living with him at his parents' house. It was not healthy at all. I was super codependent. It was a big learning curve when I got dumped, like huge. I went to therapy and I learned a lot about myself. That's when I learned to love reading. So it's like I couldn't be more grateful for being dumped. I needed that. I needed to learn that about myself. I was too codependent on the people that I was in love with. We were not compatible at the end of the day. We just had similar personalities. That was it. That went on way too long. Couldn't be more grateful for like the 6 months of depression that I went through. It made me who I am today. And like since then, I haven't seen anyone since. I moved to Hilton Head, where I lived with 2 girls, found some things out about myself, and I moved home, and I haven't dated since. So that brings me to the question, favorite sex position. I feel like there's a couple. I fucking hate doggy. Don't even get me started on doggy style. I fucking hate it. The like more tamer version of doggy, where I'm lying down. When you're lying down, it's different as opposed to, you know? I love a good missionary. Don't get me wrong, love a good missionary. So, but I would probably say lying down. The last one, are you queer?